So class, welcome to the lecture number 24th of the course. So lecture number 24th, which is the second lecture of unit number 4th. So in this lecture, we will talk about contingency analysis. So contingency, I am saying, suppose that there is fault in the system, and how this fault is removed means we between two buses, any two buses in the power system, we have a transmission line. Suppose there is fault in that line. So what happened? So this line, it can be turned off or switched off with the help of circuit breakers on both the ends of that line. Okay, so the moment this line is switched off, okay, what will happen? The current distribution of the network changes and the bus voltages also change. Okay, so I am saying when a line is switched off, comma, current distribution switched off with the help of circuit breakers, then current distribution of the network and bus voltages will change. And bus voltages, they will change. Got it? So after the disturbance means after the line is switched off, this bus voltage and current distribution in the network, it will change, and a new steady state bus voltage and line currents will be predicted, will be attained, and these new or steady state bus voltage and line currents, they will be predicted by contingency analysis program. So I'm saying new current, new line current and bus voltages, I'm talking about steady state. New line current and bus voltages will be predicted by contingency analysis program. So, a power system, it is a very vast system. Okay. And this for large network models. Okay. For large network models, contingency evaluation, it not need to be exact. Okay. So we don't have to calculate the exact bus voltage and exact line currents, because in contingency analysis, what is the purpose? The purpose is to see that whether after a disturbance, if the voltage levels or the line flows in a line, whether they are within the limit or they are outside their limits, means whether they are violating the constants or whether they are not violating the constants. So that is more important. Okay, because an operator is more concerned with knowing the overload levels of current and voltage level exist rather than finding the exact values of these quantities. Okay, so we are not interested in finding the exact value of bus voltages and line currents, but we are interested in knowing if the bus voltage and line current limits, they are violated or not. Okay, so we are saying that I'm saying an operator is more concerned about knowing if the overload levels of current and voltage limits exists. Okay, if overload levels of current and voltage level exist rather than finding their exact values. Okay, so what are we interested? We are interested to know whether any whether any line is overloaded or any line is overloaded or not. Okay, this you know that this type of analysis, whether the line is overloaded or not, whether the bus voltage is exceeding the limit or not, it can be done with the help of load flow as well. Okay, and you know that these load flow results, they are more exact. But you know, this load flow analysis, it is an iterative process. Okay, so it takes lot of time or more time. So but for the contingency analysis, we the operator, it has a minimum time to react. Okay, so that's why we are not opting for load flow, though load flow will give exact results, but it is time consuming. Okay, that's why we are going for this contingency analysis technique, because it does not give us accurate result, it only tells us whether the limit is violated or not. Okay, so that's why we go for this contingency analysis. So I'm saying load flow is exact but time consuming, as the process is iterative. Okay, however I am saying contingency analysis gives algebraic solution, without iteration. Means I and contingency analysis program, it is not an iterative program. Without iteration. Okay, so this load flow, I am saying it is more accurate. This load flow, I am saying it is more accurate as compared to the contingency analysis. Okay, so since we are not interested in knowing the exact values, we are only interested in knowing if there is violation or not. So what we do, so some approximations are made where the line resistance are neglected, the line charging as well as the off nominal tap changing of transformers, they are omitted. Okay, so I'm saying, approximations are made where line resistances are neglected and line charging and off nominal tap changing of transformers are omitted. Okay, so next, this was the introduction to this contingency analysis. So next, let us see what happens to the system when we add or remove any line on the system. Okay, so I'm saying adding or removing multiple lines. Adding or removing multiple lines. So I am saying we have a system, and since in that system, suppose I have a system, I am saying I have a system, this is my power system. Okay, in this system I have some Z bus. So I am saying this is a Z bus, and this is my original system. So in this system, suppose I have n number of buses, 1, 2, n. Okay, so the voltage at bus 1 is V1, the voltage at bus 2 is V2, and the voltage at bus n is Vn. So, and I have current injections at these buses. It is I1. Here the current injection at this bus is I2, and here the current injection at this bus is In. So these are constants, and these current injections and these voltages at in this original network, it is known in advance. Okay, so suppose that we want to add or remove few lines into this original system. Okay, so for adding or removing few lines into this system, it is not necessary that we build a new Z bus. matrix. Okay, you know Z bus is nothing, it will be n cross n matrix. Okay, so Z bus will be nothing but n cross n matrix. So if I am adding one or two more lines or removing one or two more lines from this network, I don't have to change this. I don't have to rebuild this Z bus matrix again. Okay, especially when we are especially if the only interest is to establish the impact of changes on the existing bus voltage and line flows. Okay, so let us consider first we are given a system. I am saying that the system, we have voltages V1 V2 up to Vn due to the current injections I1 I2 and In. Okay, so these current injections and these voltages are known in advance to us. Okay, then let us consider that we are adding two lines. Let us consider we are adding two lines with impedance ZA and ZB to an existing system with known Z बस मीन्स एक सिस्टम है जिसका Z बस हमें गिवन है. अभी इसी सिस्टम में हम दो इम्पीडेंसेस लगा रहे हैं ZA एंड ZB. ओके, एंड दीज इम्पीडेंसेस आर ZA एंड ZB आर मीन्स connected between nodes M, or nodes means buses M and N. Okay, between M and I'll write like that, and PQ. So I am adding a bus ZA between nodes M and N, and I am adding second bus ZB between nodes P and Q. Okay, so when we are adding these node buses, means we are adding we are not adding bus, we are adding branches. Branches means transmission lines. So with the addition of transmission lines, these current injections I1 I2 and In, they will not change. Okay, so I am saying with the additions of ZA and ZB, current injections I1 I2 up to In are unaffected, which was the original current injections, they remain unaffected. Okay, so let me write the whole Z bus matrix in in terms of a matrix, whole equation in terms of a matrix. How will I write it? Just look here. I am saying it is my V is equal to I into Z. V is equal to Z bus into I matrix. So V is nothing but I will take V1, then I will take Vm, Vn, Vp, Vq, and last I have Vn. So this is n cross 1. Then I have Z bus. Z bus should be n cross n. So I will start with, so I'm saying this is first bus, this is M bus, this is N bus, this is P bus, this is Q bus, and this is Nth bus. Okay, similarly I have first row, then M row, N row, P row, Q row, and in the last I have N row. So this will be my Z11, Z1M, Z1N, Z1P, Z1Q, ZNN. So here will be ZM1, ZMM, ZMN, ZMP, ZMQ, ZNN. Then I have ZN1, ZNM, ZNN, ZNP, ZNQ, ZNN. Then I have let me write P here, Q here, because it will be very hodgepodge. Then ZN P1, ZPM, ZPN, ZPP, ZPQ, ZPN, MNPQ. So this N is here, again N is coming, so I will name this as capital N, ZN, Z1N. This was Z1N. So this was ZMN. This was ZNN, small n and capital N, ZPN. Okay, so this is capital N here because I'm taking small n here, so this will be capital N then. Okay, so this is ZQ1, ZQM, ZQ, so small n, ZQN, ZQN, ZQP or PQ, ZQP, ZQQ, ZQN, and last I have, this is capital N, ZN1, ZNM, ZNN, ZNP, ZNQ, ZNN. So this is my Z bus, and this is my I1, IM, IN, IP, IQ, and IN. So V is equal to I into Z matrix. Okay, so this was original. So suppose I am saying that after adding the impedances ZA and ZB, this V matrix, it will change to V dash. Okay, so I am saying after adding buses, after adding, sorry, not buses, after adding lines ZA and ZB, the voltages will be, the voltage vector will be given by V dash is equal to V1 dash, V2 dash, Vn dash transpose. Okay, so this is the vector of the bus voltages. So I'm saying after adding these two buses, this vector will change to this. So if I will take the transpose of this, I will get V1, V1 dash, Vm dash, Vn dash, Vp dash, Vq dash, and Vn dash. Because this is a row, so the transpose of a row will be a column. So you will get this, but a dash sign everywhere. Okay, so I am saying suppose there is any bus K in the middle. Okay, so voltage change at kth bus will be, voltage change at bus K is given by delta Vk. So it is nothing but Vk, what was the voltage initially, Vk dash change, new voltage minus initial voltage, where Vk dash is the bus voltage at bus K after adding the impedances ZA and ZB, and Vk was the voltage at bus K when these impedances were not included, means original circuit. So I can say that currents IA and IB in the added branches are related to the new bus voltages by, I will say that currents IA and IB in the branches, added branches are ZA and ZB, are related to new bus voltages by, so if you will say suppose there is any bus K, okay, and I am saying its voltage is not changed from Vk to Vk dash. Okay, so what will be the sorry, I'm not I cannot take K bus. This is the change in voltage at any bus, whether it is bus 1, bus 2, bus 3, bus M, bus P, bus Q, or bus N, capital N. Okay. So this is a change in voltage. So this was the voltage after the buses are added, and this is the voltage when the buses were not added. So I am saying if currents IA and IB in the added branches are related to the new bus voltages. So what will be the new bus voltages at bus M? It will be VM dash. Okay. Let me draw the diagram again once. One more diagram, then it will be easy. So I'm saying I have a system like this. I have Z here. I have Z bus original. So suppose I'm saying I'm taking M bus, N bus, then I am taking P bus and Q. This is my P bus and this is my Q bus. So this is after I am adding the impedances ZA and ZB. What will be the voltage here? It will be VM dash. Okay. What will be the voltage at the nth bus after the addition of the impedances VN dash? Here it will be VP dash, and here it will be VQ dash. So this is what I am doing when I am adding an impedance. When I am adding an impedance ZA between bus M and N. So voltage will now be at this bus will be VM dash and VN dash. And I'm saying that the current that is flowing in this impedance, it is IA, because it is ZA impedance. Similarly, another impedance is added between bus P and Q, it is ZB. So the current flowing here is IB. So this is the voltage here will be VP dash and here will be VQ dash, because I have added one impedance here, ZB. Okay. So I am saying the if you will see here, after the addition of the initially, if these impedances were not there, the voltage was VM, VN, VP, and VQ. After the addition of the impedances, voltages are changed now from VM to VM dash, from VN to VN dash, and VP dash and VPQ respectively. Okay. So this is IA current that is flowing in this impedance, and IB is the current that is flowing in this impedance ZB. So we can write IAZA is equal to current is flowing from VM to VN. So I will write it. It will be equal to VM dash minus VN dash. Simply you will apply KVL. So similarly, IBZB is equal to VP dash minus VQ dash. So label this equation 1. Okay. So these equations, okay, these IA and IB current, okay, it can be written in a vector form like what I am doing to this equation. This is equation 1. These both the equations I am labeling as equation 1. I am saying suppose this is ZA0, 0, ZB, okay, multiplied by IA, IB. So I am getting left hand side ZA, IA here and ZB, IB here. So this will be equal to what? Okay, so I am saying when I have added impedances A, ZA and ZB, I have first bus, then I have M, then N, then P, then Q, then capital N. Okay, so can I write it as it is 0? Okay, this is M, it is -1, at N it is 1, then I have 0, 0, 0, then I have 0, 0, 0, -1, 1, 0, and here I have a vector V1 dash, V M dash, Vn dash, Vp dash, Vq dash, and last Vn, capital N dash. Okay, you got it? Why I am writing -1 here and 1 here, I will show you. So I will again redraw this here. This diagram I will again redraw it here. So Vm dash, Vn dash, Vp dash, Vq dash, Vm dash, Vn dash, Vp dash, Vq dash. Okay. So earlier I was showing this diagram in terms of current injections. Okay, in terms of current injection I1, I2 and IN. Now again I will redraw this diagram in terms of current injections. So what I will get, you will see, if you will look at this diagram, IA is the current that is going here, and here it is coming out, and here it is coming in. Okay, and IB, here it is coming out and here it is going in. So I can write, if this is plus IA, going in is positive, because I am assuming all the currents that are going into the network, it is positive. So I am saying this is going into the network, it is positive. So what is coming out here, it is IA, it is coming out, I can write it as minus IA here, IA. Similarly coming out minus IB, going in IB. Okay, so since I am saying the currents that are coming out, that are negative, and that's the current that is going in, it is positive. So it is minus IA plus IA minus IB plus IB. So look at here at this equation. So I have left hand side, if I will say I multiplying this equation, I should get this equation and this equation. So ZA into ZA IA, and here I have ZB IB, ZA IA ZB IB. So if you will look at this equation, sorry, it is plus and it is minus here, this is plus and this is minus here. Okay, so now multiply this row with this column, so you will get m multiplied by m, so it will be Vm dash, n multiplied by n minus Vn dash, Vm dash minus Vn dash. So similarly, if you will look at this column, so it will be P, so where is P? P is this here, so it will be Vp dash minus Vq dash. So this equation can be represented in a vector form like this. Okay, so this term is called as AC, and this term is called the original vector, means vector after the line impedances are added, is V dash. Okay, it is V dash. So I can write that ZA, I can write here that ZA 0 0 ZB into IA IB is equal to AC into V dash. Okay, where V dash is nothing but transpose of this vector. Okay, V dash is nothing, this vector, row vector transpose. So if you will transpose this, you will get a column. Okay, that is why I am writing AC into V dash. So what is AC? If you will see what is AC, so this AC is the branch to node incidence matrix. It is the branch to node incidence matrix. This is the branch and these are the nodes. So AC is the branch to node incidence matrix, which shows the incidence of two new branches to the nodes of the system. So I am saying AC is the branch to node incidence matrix, which shows the incidence of two new branches to the nodes of the system. So new branches, if you will see the new branches IA and IB, they have the same effect on the voltages. So I'm saying new branch currents IA and IB, they have the same effect on the voltages of the system as the two sets of injected currents. So this is my current IA. I have decomposed IA into two sets, into a set of currents. Current IA is decomposed into a set of currents. One is minus IA and another is IA. Similarly, current IB is decomposed into a set of current. One is minus IB and another is IB. So I have two sets of currents, minus IA, and another set is minus IB and IB. So I am saying that these new branch currents IA and IB, they have the same effect on the voltages of the original system as two sets of injected currents. What are the two sets? Minus IA at bus M and IA at bus N. This is one set of current, and minus IB at bus P and IB at bus Q. Okay, so these branches IA and IB, they have the same effect on the bus voltages of the original system as the two sets of injected currents, this and this. First set is this, another set is this. So now these equivalent current injections, these equivalent current injection combined with the actual current injections. Okay, these equivalent current injection. So I am saying these equivalent current injections IA and IB combined with the actual current injections I1, I2 and IN. Okay, they produce voltages V1 dash, V2 dash and Vn dash. Okay, so अब क्या कह रहा हूँ मैं, कह रहा हूँ अगर मैं इन करंट्स की और जो ओरिजिनल करंट्स हैं दोनों मिलके जो अफेक्ट करती हैं सिस्टम वोल्टेजेस पे, ओके वो क्या मिलता है हमें, नया वोल्टेज क्या मिलता है, V1, V2 और V डैश. So I am saying, let me write it down, otherwise it will create confusion. I am saying these equivalent current injections, these equivalent current injections combined with the actual current injections into the original system produces voltages V1 dash, V2 dash, Vn dash, produce voltages V1 dash, V2 is same as if the branch impedances ZA and ZB had been actually added to the network. So what I am saying, हम कह रहे हैं जो करंट इंजेक्शंस हमारे आए हैं, जो IA और IB आए हैं, वो अगर ओरिजिनल करंट इंजेक्शंस जो हैं उनके साथ कंबाइन करके हमारे सिस्टम में जो एक वोल्टेजेस प्रोड्यूस करती हैं V1 डैश टू Vn डैश, तो वो इसके मतलब वो सेम इफेक्ट प्रोड्यूस करती है अगर हम जो इम्पीडेंसेस ZA और ZB थे इसको हमने ओरिजिनल Z बस में अगर इंक्लूड किया होता है. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ एडिंग ZA एंड ZB इनटू द ओरिजिनल बस मैट्रिक्स, वी आर showing the same effect on voltages with the help of these currents IA and IB. So I can say that these currents IA and IB, they are the compensating currents. Okay, because these currents IA and IB, they are the compensating current because these currents compensate for not modifying Z bus of the original system to include ZA and ZB. Okay, so I am saying currents IA and IB compensate for not modifying Z bus of the original system. So because we didn't change the Z bus of the original system. Okay, so instead of adding ZA and ZB into the original system, what we did, we showed the effect of ZA and ZB on the voltages of the system without changing the Z bus. Okay, that's why I am saying currents I and IB compensate for not modifying Z bus of the original system and are thus called as compensating currents. Okay, so the compensating current in a vector form or in a vector matrix form, I can write compensating current as I. Compensating is nothing but, so this is my, suppose 1 M N P Q and at the last again capital N. So what are my compensating currents? If you will see, compensating currents will be 0. Look here, at M it is coming out, but coming out is positive. It should be arrow. If the arrow goes inverse, then it is negative. Here, if the arrow goes inverse, then it is negative. Because it is coming out, it is positive. So if I will reverse the direction of arrows, because conventionally we take the direction of current injection as towards the bus, towards the network. So it should be, arrow should go like this, and it should be minus IA. So minus IA minus IB. So 0 at M, it is minus IA, at N it is IA, at P it is minus IB, at Q it is IB, and N it is 0. Okay, so I can further modify it. If I want to take IA and IB common, if I want to take IA and IB common, so I can write this as 1, then I have M, N, P, Q, capital N. So it is, I am saying A and B. So 0, 0, at M it is minus 1 IA and 0 IB, and it is 1, 0, 0, minus 1, 0, minus 1, 0, 0. So now multiply this row with this, this row with this column, it is minus IA at M, this with this column it is IB at N, then this with this it is minus minus IB at P and IB at Q. This is positive here. So if you will look at this closely, so it will be equal to, this term will be equal to minus AC transpose. So negative of the transpose of the incidence matrix into IA, IB. Got it? So change in voltages can be calculated now. I'm saying change in voltages can be calculated. Change in voltages from V1, V2, Vn, from this to V1 dash, V2 dash, Vn dash can be calculated by multiplying the original Z bus by the vector I compensating of the compensating current. So I am saying V dash will be equal to V plus Z plus into I compensating. So V dash will be equal to V minus Z bus into AC transpose. I compensating is nothing but minus, I compensating is nothing but minus AC transpose into IA, IB. IA, IB. Okay, so V, I'm saying V minus V dash, or V dash minus V. V dash minus V, it will be nothing but it will be the change in voltages, del V. So it will be equal to minus Z bus AC transpose IA, IB. So voltages, so I am saying voltages can be calculated directly from IA and IB, means voltages can be calculated directly from IA and IB once the values of IA and IB are determined. Means I can directly calculate voltage from IA and IB, but for that I should know the value of IA and IB. And how will I determine IA and IB? So process to determine the value of IA and IB, it is as follows. So multiplying both sides of equation, this equation or this equation, multiplying both sides of this equation by AC. Okay, so I'm saying this equation 2, multiplying both sides of equation 2 by AC. So it will be AC V dash will be equal to AC into V minus AC Z bus AC transpose into IA and IB. So if I want to calculate the voltages, I should know IA and IB, and the process for calculating IA and IB, I am for that what I am doing, I am multiplying second by AC. Okay, now what I will do, I know that AC into V dash, I have calculated AC into V dash. AC into V dash is nothing but ZA 0 0 ZB IA IB, AC into V dash. So it will be ZA 0 0 ZB equal to AC into V minus AC Z bus AC transpose IA IB. Here I forget IA and IB. AC into V dash is this. Okay, so transferring this from right hand side to left hand side, what I will get? I will get ZA0 0 ZB minus AC Z bus AC transpose IA IB. So this will be equal to AC into V. Okay, AC into V. So what will be AC into V? We have calculated AC into V. AC into V is nothing but Vm minus Vn. V AC into V. So let us, where is V? So if you will see, this is AC into V dash. So if you will multiply AC into V, V is V1, Vm, Vn, Vp, Vq, Vn, no dash. So this AC into V will be nothing but Vm minus Vn, and the second row will be Vp minus Vq. So I will write AC into V will be Vm minus Vn. It will be equal to Vm minus Vn, and second row will be Vp minus Vq. Okay, so this element, this whole element, I am naming it as Z. Z is the loop incidence matrix. It is the loop incidence matrix which can be formulated directly from the original impedance matrix, original Z bus. Okay, so from here I can calculate that IA, let me go to next page. From here I can calculate that IA IB is nothing but, this is Z, this side it will be Z inverse. Okay, Z inverse AC into V, which is nothing but Z inverse into Vm minus Vn and Vp minus Vq. Okay, so let us calculate for this calculating Z inverse, we should know what is this AC Z bus AC transpose. What is AC Z bus AC transpose? Or I can again say that Z into IA into IB is equal to Vm minus Vn and Vp minus Vq. Okay, so let us calculate Z first. Okay, Z, for calculating Z I should know what is Z is this for calculating Z I should know what is AC Z bus AC transpose. So let us calculate for AC Z bus AC transpose. Okay, AC Z bus AC transpose. So let us calculate AC Z bus AC transpose. So what is AC? AC I have calculated here AC. So AC is nothing but 0 0 1 0 minus 1 0 0 1 0 minus 1 0 0. This is AC. So if I will write the complete value AC, then Z bus complete and AC transpose complete, it will not means adjust in this page. So but these zero elements, what will I get? 0 multiplied by ZA will be equal to 0. Z bus Z11 will be 0. So what I will do, instead of writing this complete, what I will do, I will use only those elements of AC and Z bus which will contribute to the calculation. So use only those elements of AC and Z bus which contribute to the calculation, So what are the elements? So I don't need these zero elements. So what I will write? I will write 1 0 minus 1 0 0 1 0 minus 1. This is my AC. So if you will talk about Z bus, so we are only interested in M, N, P and Q. Only interested in M, N, P, Q. These four elements. 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 N, P, So what are the elements? ZMM, ZMN, ZMPU, MPZMQ, ZNM, ZNN, ZNP, ZNQ, ZPM, ZPN, ZPP, ZPQ, and ZQM, ZQN, ZQP, ZQQ. And what are the elements of AC transpose that we are interested in? So 1 0 minus 1 0, 1 0 minus 1 0, 0 1 0 minus 1. This is AC transpose. So now the calculation becomes simpler. So now if you want to calculate, firstly multiply this term with this term. Okay, you will get one element. So after multiplication, what will I get? I'm directly writing AC Z bus AC transpose, AC Z bus AC transpose. So the value of the AC Z bus AC transpose, it will be ZMM minus ZMN minus ZNM minus ZNN. ZMM minus ZMN minus ZNM minus ZNN. Okay. Second element will be ZMP minus ZMQ minus ZNP minus ZNQ. Okay. The third element will be ZPM minus ZPN minus ZQM minus ZQN. And the fourth element will be ZPP minus ZPQ minus ZPQ minus ZQQ. So this will be these will be the elements of the AC Z bus and AC transpose. But we are interested in calculating what? We are interested in calculating this. Where is the term? We are interested in calculating this Z, which is ZA00 ZB minus this term. Okay, so what will this Z be equal to? Capital Z will be equal to capital Z, which is nothing but ZA00 ZB minus AC ZB AC transpose. So Z will be equal to, I am saying, Z will be equal to ZMM minus ZMN minus ZNM minus ZNN plus ZA. And the second term will be ZMP minus ZMQ minus ZNP minus ZNQ. So the third term here will be ZPM minus ZPN minus ZQM minus ZQN. And the second term here will be ZPP minus ZPQ minus ZQP minus ZQQ plus ZA. Okay, ZB. Okay, so and you know that this is your Z. Now this, after writing this, I will again write a step down. I have to write this matrix, so I will not write it. So I will write this multiplied by IA IB will be equal to VM minus VN and VP minus VQ. Okay, so once from, I am saying this is equation B. Okay, from B we can say that IA and IB can be calculated by using the known voltages, because these voltages VM, VN, VP and VQ, they are known. Okay, since they are known, we can calculate IA and IB because we are given the elements of the original Z bus matrix. Means ZMN, ZM and these matrix they are given, and ZA and ZB is also given. So this whole matrix we can calculate. This is given to us, so we can easily calculate IA and IB. So this is how we calculate IA and IB in the system. Okay. So I think that is enough for today's lecture. Thank you very much.